season. And he lifts a fly ball to center field. Zimmer is there, and the losing streak is over. The Blue Jays win the final game of the series 2-1 and go to 45-38 on the season. Terrific pitching today and just enough offense thanks to Chapman and Bichette.
Yeah, it's always about the pitching. That'll get you on some winning streaks and keep that winning streak going. Barrios, Simber, Romano outstanding. The bullpen 9 up and 9 down. Couple of home runs. Matt Chapman, a very successful coming back to his former place where he started his career. Bo Bichette with the game winner down the left field line, and the Blue Jays salvage the last game in this 3-game series.
Let's go to Seattle.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Blue Jays heading to Seattle for a big 4-game series starting tomorrow night. It is time now for Blue Jays Central along with Ben and Arden. Once again, here's Jamie.
Thank you, Dan. You can sense the relief in some of the faces there. Certainly relief in the faces of some of you watching, and relief on this desk based on the fact that none of us have to dissect a sweep at the hands of the Oakland Athletics. Ben Nicholson-Smith, Arden Zwelling. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from today's ball game in Oakland as Jose Barrios, who was the winner on Canada Day through 5 innings against Tampa Bay, gets the nod in a must-win on July the, what are we, the 6th now? My goodness, he was looking good early on, gets the couple of strikeouts there. And in the 4th, the Blue Jays had a number of opportunities. This was a good one. A couple of base runners on, and Gurriel almost squeaks one by Nick Allen, but can't, so still scoreless at this point. First team to get on the board was Oakland, as Ramon Laureano hits this one a mile, his 6th of the year. And the Athletics, nice catch by the way, Athletics have a 1-0 lead. But guess who comes back and does it again in the ballpark where he played for so long? Matt Chapman with a much-needed blast to tie the ball game at 1, leading off the 7th inning. That's his 13th of the year. Barrios, fantastic. 6 innings, gave up just the earned run. And this team needs the help of Bo Bichette, and he hands it over this way. That home run is the first lead for the Blue Jays in 51 innings. And they'll take it. As Bichette admires the shot, Jordan Romano just came on. As you saw, some high 90s cheddar allows a 1-2-3 as he gets the fly ball out here. Blue Jays win it. They're on to Seattle. Let's go to the Coliseum where we find Arash Madani.
Matt, you knew it was going to be an emotional week, but you said after the first game, you said, I'm here to win a ball game. At a time this team needed to win a ball game. What made the difference in the end with the bats?
You know, I think obviously that first day, a lot of emotions, still a lot of emotions playing here, but was able to settle in yesterday, and then today obviously was able to get that big hit, and then Bo came through with another one, and we were able to, you know, scratch that one out 2-1. We haven't maybe been you know, scoring as much runs as we have, but we've been hitting balls hard, maybe not finding holes, so it's good to, you know, end this series with a win and go into Seattle with some momentum.
I know in baseball, every day is just any other day, but did this day feel like a win was necessary with everything going on?
Absolutely. I think we know how important, you know, every day is, and we've had a few get away from us, and I think, you know, more importantly than just getting a win, stopping the skid, you know, and hey, you know, we get to travel after a win, we get to kind of regroup, reset. It's a lot harder to go into a new series after you know, get swept or something like that. So for us to kind of get a win here, hit the reset button, go into Seattle fresh, and be like, hey, it's time to win another series.
Last couple of days, you've had some hard hit balls. You seen the ball a little better?
Definitely. I think I've been able to just kind of slow it down. I was swinging the bat there well, you know, a few weeks ago. Kind of just had a rough series, you know, the one before the road trip. But I was able to make a few adjustments in the cage and just shake it off. I know that, you know, there's a lot of ebbs and flows in baseball, and there's still a ton of baseball left. So for me, that's kind of what motivates me, is knowing that there's a lot of baseball left, and there's still a lot of time I could help this team.
Barrios was so good today, but what you got from Simber with those 6 outs, how huge was that, Matt?
Huge. You know, I think in a tight ball game like this, when your starter gets you deep, to rely on the bullpen to, you know, when runs are not coming in bunches right now, to have a bullpen come in and shut the door is huge.
Matt, appreciate it.
Thank you.
On to Seattle.
Yep.
So thus ends a 5-game losing streak, and that flight to Seattle will be a little more enjoyable, one would think, for Matt Chapman and his teammates. First to you, let's take a look at the bigger picture here. This is a team that almost got swept by the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Not just a last team, the worst team in Major League Baseball. So that's a game that they kind of had to win. And of course, it's baseball. Weird things happen all the time. But they really did need this one, and they got some really good offense with the home runs from Chapman and from Bo Bichette. Those were huge. Simber, Romano, those guys were essential as well. But really, as they move ahead here, this was not a game that they could really afford to lose, because you're playing the worst team in baseball. You have to come away with at least one win.
And they win by the thinnest of margins, too. 1 run. I thought it was wild that Mark Kotsay let James Kaprielian go back into this game. He'd already gotten him through 24 batters, 6 innings, no runs allowed. He's well into his 3rd trip through. The stuff is diminishing. I thought no way Kaprielian's coming back out, but he does. And batter number 25 is Matt Chapman, who does what Matt Chapman does. Works a slow, dedicated, patient plate appearance. He is discerning. He gets into a full count, gets a pitch he can drive, and hits it 415 feet. So I think the Blue Jays were benefactors of some poor managing on the other side, but coming off of this losing streak, they'll no doubt take it.
If you just caught the facial reaction of Kaprielian after Chapman connected on that home run, you know that he knew it was leaving the ballpark. And we know this, a 2-1 victory counts the same in the standings as a 15-1 victory. So the Blue Jays at this point will take it. Some other good things witnessed today in Oakland. The performance of Jose Barrios. Why is that important?
It was the curveball, and we talked about it before the game. It's such an important pitch for him. I feel like that is the biggest differentiator between his good starts and his bad outings. Is the curveball working? Is he locating it for strikes on the plate and then getting hitters to expand off the plate and chase it like this? It was his most used pitch on the day. 33 of them, 5 swinging strikes, 9 called strikes. Very important. Landing it on the plate at the bottom of the zone to lefties. He was getting it down and into lefties, attacking those back feet, down and away to righties, obviously, which is huge for him. That sets up his sinker to righties when he's tunneling them effectively. That sets up the 4-seamer to lefties when he's throwing them in the same lane. This is the biggest throughfare, I think, from Jose Barrios' good outings this year. Is the curveball effective? Is it coming out of his hand the right way or not? And today, Ben, it was.
Yeah, and there's a huge benefit to this just beyond today, because when you look at the state of the starting rotation, it is not in great shape. So they have enough questions already with Casey Lawrence potentially starting as soon as tomorrow. You look, of course, at Yusei Kikuchi and what the Jays have to figure out there, along with Kevin Gausman. So they have a lot of issues. They don't need Jose Barrios to be on that list. But today he really showed that he's someone they could rely on and build as they go forward with.
So, though it has not been officially announced, it looks like Casey Lawrence will start the opener in Seattle tomorrow. Mariners going with lefty Marco Gonzalez as far as we know. So join us, won't you? It's the annual tradition, and it's wonderful to see. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time is when we'll have Blue Jay Central. Off we go to Global Jam, Canada against the United States. Enjoy.